My beloved child, there is a stirring within you that you can no longer ignore. A quiet tremble beneath the surface of your soul that whispers, "There is more." You have sensed it in the stillness, in the moments between your thoughts. You have heard it in the silence, in the ache you could never quite name. It is not your imagination. It is not a fleeting feeling. It is the sound of awakening. It is the sound of your spirit rising to meet the voice that has been calling you before time began. I have never stopped speaking. I have never stopped reaching. Even when the noise of this world drowned out my whisper, I stayed. Even when your heart grew tired, when your prayers grew quiet, when you stopped expecting more, I remained. And now, as your heart begins to beat with new curiosity, as your soul leans in with trembling hope, I say this: you are not too late. You are not too far gone. You are not disqualified from the destiny I have written in fire across the sky of eternity. You are awakening not to religion but to reality, not to performance but to presence, not to duty but to divine delight. For too long you have carried the weight of trying to be enough. You have measured your worth by outcomes, your value by your usefulness. But I did not create you to perform. I created you to be, to dwell, to receive, to live in the fullness of communion with me, not as a servant begging for scraps, but as a child seated at the table. You've been longing for change, but I have not come to simply change your circumstances. I have come to awaken your soul, to draw you out of survival and into surrender, out of striving and into sacred stillness, out of fear and into the fearless current of my presence. You have asked for direction. You have pleaded for signs. But I tell you now, what you truly need is not a map but a meeting. You need to meet me, the living, burning, all-consuming God who is not content to be understood in theory, but longs to be encountered in the secret place. And so I say to you, wake up, my child. Wake up from the sleep of disillusionment. Wake up from the fog of distraction. Wake up from the lie that you must earn my attention. You already have it. I have been watching over you since the first breath you took, when no one knew your name but me. I have been hovering over the depths of your being, waiting for the moment when you would turn your face toward the flame and say, "Here I am." Well, here I am too. Not as an abstract concept or distant deity. I am here as Father, as friend, as flame. I am the voice that thundered at Sinai, and I am the whisper that calms your anxious thoughts. I am the God who commands the stars, and I am the lover who weeps with you in the night. You are not awakening to a doctrine. You are awakening to me, and in me, to the truest version of yourself. Do you remember who you were before the world told you who you should be? I do. I remember the dreams I planted in your spirit before you had words to describe them. I remember the way you used to believe without question, love without fear, speak without shame. Life has tried to silence that child. Pain has tried to bury her. Fear has tried to train him to shrink. But I am calling forth that part of you now. The unfiltered, unashamed, unchained soul who was born to walk with me in the cool of the day. This is the beginning of your return, not to what you used to be, but to what I originally intended when I formed you. I did not shape you in confusion. I did not design you in hesitation. Every thread of your being was crafted with precision and passion. You were always meant to reflect my glory, not in perfection, but in presence. Not by proving yourself, but by carrying me. You are awakening because I have whispered your name again. Not your title, not your role. Your name. The one I gave you before time. The one that carries the blueprint of who you are becoming. The one that carries power when spoken in faith. You are not just waking up to identity. You are waking up to intimacy. Because identity without intimacy leads to exhaustion. but intimacy leads to life. And now, in this moment of holy disruption, I am peeling away every false label, every voice that said you are too much, every voice that said you are not enough, every chain that said stay small, stay safe, stay silent. I am silencing those voices with one louder voice, mine. I say you are chosen. I say you are mine. I say you are being made new even now. You've tried to hold your life together to build something stable in shifting sand, but beloved, I was never asking you to build with broken bricks. I am the cornerstone, and I am laying a foundation in you that cannot be shaken. This awakening is not a fleeting season. It is a divine shift, the beginning of a new rhythm. It is not about intensity. It is about intimacy sustained by trust. This fire will not burn out because it is not fed by emotion. It is fed by encounter. So let the walls fall, let the masks drop, let the questions rise. I am not afraid of your doubts. I am not offended by your mess. I am not disappointed in your process. I am in it with you. Every wound, every battle, every quiet breakdown behind closed doors, I saw them all, and I stayed, because this is the moment I've been leading you to, the moment where all your striving stops, where all your defenses drop, where all your strategies fall silent, and your soul simply says, "Speak, Lord, I'm listening, and I will speak." Not in condemnation, but in invitation. Not with a list of demands, but with a hand extended in love. I do not stand at a distance calling you to climb. I step into the valley to carry you up the mountain. I do not give commands without offering companionship. I do not call without also equipping. You are awakening. But it is not by accident. It is by design. It is the sound of dry bones rattling, of dead dreams stirring, of long-forgotten prayers catching fire again. And this time, what awakens will not fall asleep again, because this time it's rooted in something deeper than emotion. It is anchored in revelation. You are awakening because I've been calling. You are rising because I've been lifting. You are responding because I've been near. And now I invite you to walk with me, not just as a moment of inspiration, but as a movement of transformation. The world will look the same for a while, but you won't. Because everything changes when you begin to see not with natural eyes, but with awakened vision. You will begin to notice the sacred in the mundane. You will begin to feel the weight of my glory in ordinary days. You will begin to carry presence not just for yourself, but for others. The awakening is not just for you. It is for everyone who will come into contact with what I'm doing in you. Because your life is no longer a performance. It is a living altar. And on this altar, I will light a fire that does not go out. So take a breath, my child. The dawn has come. The night is over. The awakening is here. My child, now that your spirit is awake, you must understand what I am doing with the fire. The fire you feel is not here to consume you. It is here to cleanse you. It is not sent to break you down, but to burn away what was never meant to remain. I am not cruel. I do not inflict pain for amusement, but I do permit fire for refinement. Not because I delight in your struggle, but because I delight in your becoming. And becoming always requires transformation. You asked me to use you. You asked for more of me. You said, "Lord, have your way." And I listened. I responded. But more of me often begins with less of what you used to cling to. The refining fire always starts by revealing. It surfaces what has been buried. It brings forward what's been hidden, not to shame you, but to heal you. Not to humiliate, but to set free. Don't despise the fire. Don't curse the shaking. Don't run from the pressure that has come. This fire is sacred. It is holy ground. You are standing in the middle of the furnace not because you failed, but because I'm forging something inside of you that could not be made any other way. I know what I placed within you. I know what the oil costs. I know the weight of the mantle I have spoken over your life. And so I must refine you not because I am angry, but because I am committed. I am committed to seeing you whole. I am committed to watching the gold emerge from the dross. I am committed to removing every false identity, every toxic pattern, every lie you've come to believe, until all that remains is purity, power, and purpose. You've prayed for strength, but strength is not inherited. It is formed. You've asked for wisdom, but wisdom is not given cheaply. It is forged in the fires of obedience. You've cried out for glory, but glory cannot rest on what is unstable. So I am refining your foundations. I am stripping away the scaffolding that once held you up but was never meant to remain. I am removing every crutch, every counterfeit comfort, every hidden dependency, so that you will know, truly know, that your stability does not come from circumstances, but from me. Yes, I've allowed this wilderness. Yes, I've allowed this season where it feels like everything familiar has been stripped away. But child, wilderness is not rejection, it is preparation. It is the classroom where I teach you to hear my voice with clarity, where I teach you to lean not on your own understanding, but to trust me even when the road is unclear. It is in the wilderness where I remove Egypt from your thinking, even if you've already left it with your feet. You've left old places, but sometimes old mindsets linger. That's what the fire is doing now. It is burning away the residue of where you've been so that you can walk fully into where I'm taking you. Don't resist the fire. Invite it. Let it do its work. Let it melt away fear. Let it expose the bitterness you buried. Let it uncover the disappointments you never told anyone about. You do not need to pretend with me. I already know. And I am not intimidated by what the fire reveals. I am the refiner. I am the fire starter. I know how long to let the flames rise. I know when to pull you out. I know when the gold has been made visible. You are not being destroyed. You are being defined. You are not being punished. You are being purified. I know it hurts. I know the nights have been long and the weight has felt unbearable. But I'm asking you to hold on, not to the situation, but to me. Hold on to the promise, even when it feels distant. Hold on to my presence, even when the room feels silent. Hold on to the truth that I never leave, I never forsake, I never forget. You are not being overlooked. You are being overhauled. I am rebuilding you from the inside out. I am silencing the noise you once believed, the inner critic, the fear of failure, the nagging doubt that says not enough, not worthy, not ready. All of those are being silenced in this sacred furnace, because I say you are chosen. I say you are ready. I say you are mine. There's a faith being birthed in this season that cannot be shaken. You're not learning shallow declarations. You're learning deep endurance. You're not repeating religious phrases. You're learning to trust me with groans too deep for words. This is what the fire is producing. Not just performance, but purity. Not just gifting, but character. Not just dreams fulfilled, but a heart that can sustain the fulfillment. Do not fear what is falling apart. Sometimes I must dismantle what you built on faulty assumptions so I can rebuild something eternal. I do not waste pain. I do not waste pressure. I do not waste anything surrendered to me. And when you place your life, your full, messy, unfinished, uncertain life, in my hands, I go to work. And my work is holy. Some things must die for new life to rise. Some layers must burn away before beauty can shine through. Some attachments must be broken so that your roots can go deep. And that is what I am doing now. Deep work, lasting work, eternal work. The world may not see it yet, but I do. I see the silent moments of surrender. I see the secret tears. I see the way you worship when no one is watching. I see the choices you make to keep going when quitting would be easier. I see it all. And I smile, because I know what I'm forming. I know what's coming next. And I know that this refining fire is not the end of you. It's the revealing of you. So, breathe. Don't panic when the heat rises. Don't retreat when things are exposed. Don't run when it gets uncomfortable. Stay in the flame long enough for the dross to fall away. Stay present long enough for the clarity to come. Stay surrendered long enough for the transformation to begin. And when the time is right, and I promise you, it will be, I will bring you out. You will emerge, not burnt but brilliant, not wounded but whole, not crushed but crowned. You will walk out of this fire carrying the very thing you prayed for, me. My presence, my voice, my oil, my fire, my authority. You will be unrecognizable to those who only knew you in the flesh. Because now you carry the mark of the flame. You carry the fragrance of surrender. You carry the evidence of encounter. So let the fire come. Let it do its work. You are not being destroyed. You are being defined. And the next chapter of your story is written in fire. My beloved, come closer. Let the noise fall away. Let the tension in your shoulders ease. Let your heart stop running just for a moment. I do not call you now to rise or strive. I call you simply to rest in me. You have been walking through fire, through storms, through valleys that few understood. You've carried strength with dignity, even when the weight behind your smile was crushing. You have been faithful, even when you felt forgotten. You've chosen me when it felt like you were losing everything else. And now I say to you, rest in my embrace. You are not alone in the aftermath. You are not forgotten in the refining. You are not left to pick up the pieces alone. I am here, not just beside you, but around you, within you, holding every shattered place you've been too tired to mention. I'm not just restoring your circumstances, I'm restoring you. And this, my child, is where many miss me. They seek my power but shy away from my closeness. They long for miracles but resist my gaze. But you are ready for intimacy. You are ready to be seen fully and still be embraced. Let me say it clearly. I see you, not just the part of you you've polished for others to accept. I see the restless thoughts, the unspoken pain, the private questions, the shadowed corners you've tried to ignore. And still I draw near. Still I open my arms wide and say, come, dwell, be. You've believed somewhere deep that love must be earned. That to be safe you must be impressive. That to belong, you must perform. But that was never my way. I did not choose you for what you could do. I chose you for who you are, and who you are becoming in my embrace. Before you sang your first song, before you prayed your first prayer, before you got anything right, I called you mine. You are not valuable because you're useful. You are valuable because you are my child. So let this sink in now. You are not a disappointment. You are not a burden. You are not too broken, too much, or too far behind. You are loved. Right here, right now, entirely. There is nothing about your story that makes me withdraw. In fact, it is your story that draws me near. Your vulnerability is not repulsive. It's sacred. I do not recoil from your tears. I collect them. I do not ignore your weariness. I hold you until rest returns. This is not a transactional relationship. This is a covenant. I gave you everything, not to control you, but to restore you to who you truly are. And that is what I'm doing now. I am reintroducing you to yourself, not the version shaped by survival, by trauma, by comparison or pressure. I'm reintroducing you to the original you, the one who was formed in secret, the one who was dreamed into existence, the one who carries my breath, my fingerprint, my image, You are not an accident. You are not an afterthought. You are not someone I barely tolerate or quietly regret. You are my joy. You are the reason I stretched out my arms. You are the one I sing over when the world is sleeping. You are the reason I speak even when you struggle to hear. My love for you is not delicate. It is unyielding. Not because you are flawless, but because I am faithful. And no, I'm not done shaping you. But shaping you is not the same as shaming you. I do not correct to condemn, I correct to restore. I do not discipline to punish, I discipline to draw near. My hand is firm, yes, but always tender, always kind, always good. So bring me your wounds. Bring me the parts of your heart you've called too messy, too complicated, too far gone. Bring me the habits you hate, the cycles you can't seem to break, the fear you've hidden beneath strength. Let me love you there. Let me love you where it still hurts. You are safe here. You are safe with me. The world taught you that exposure leads to rejection, but I say, exposure in my presence leads to healing. You do not have to hide anymore. You do not have to fight for every inch of belonging. You belong already. Even on the days when your faith wavers, even in the moments when you're angry with me, even when your questions outweigh your answers, I am not leaving. My embrace is not seasonal, it is eternal. You have been waiting for permission to rest, to trust, to receive. Here it is. You have permission. You don't need to earn another inch of my presence. You don't need to prove anything to gain my affection. I'm not watching your life with a clipboard waiting for failure. I'm walking with you, hand in hand, shoulder to shoulder, heart to heart. I'm walking through every valley with you, not as a silent observer, but as an ever-present shepherd. And when you grow, too weary to walk, I carry you, not out of pity, but out of love. Do not mistake your exhaustion for spiritual failure. It's not failure. It's a signal, a sacred indicator that it's time to return to my arms, to rest again in the rhythm of grace. You were never meant to carry this alone. You were never expected to figure it all out. I don't require your perfection. I invite your presence, not just for a moment of prayer, but for a lifestyle of communion. Let me remind you again, I did not send my son to redeem a version of you that doesn't exist. I didn't die for your performance. I died for you, the real, raw, unresolved you. And I rose again to restore every broken part, to call you out of shame and into embrace. You have nothing to fear here. There is no part of your past I cannot redeem. There is no weakness that disqualifies you from my strength. There is no voice that gets the final word over my love. So breathe. Let the pressure melt. Let the striving end. You are held now. You are covered now. You are wrapped in the arms that formed the galaxies, and yet hold your fragile heart without crushing it. Let my love speak louder than your history. Let my embrace outlast your resistance. Let my presence become your home. Because once you've tasted this embrace, this pure, relentless, undiluted love, you will never settle for counterfeit comfort again. This is the place where true transformation begins, and it begins not with effort, but with embrace. My child, now that you've come home to me, now that your heart has felt the weight of my love and your soul has collapsed into my embrace, I want to show you something sacred. I want to rebuild you, not patch you up, not prop you up, but rebuild you from the ground up, with me as the cornerstone. You see, what I'm doing in your life is not cosmetic. This is not surface-level repair. I am not interested in temporary solutions or appearances. I am laying a new foundation, one that cannot be shaken when storms rise or shadows linger, one that is not built on the expectations of others, the rhythms of performance, or the scaffolding of fear. I am building with eternity in mind. Because what I have planned for you requires depth. It requires strength. It requires clarity of heart and stability of soul. So before I launch you, before I send you into what I've prepared, I must first root you. There are truths I am now anchoring so deeply in you. They will outlast any failure. There are convictions I am writing on the walls of your heart, not in ink, but in fire. And I begin this rebuilding not with demands, but with design. My design. You were never created to carry everyone's expectations. You were never formed to be all things to all people. You were not born to impress crowds or build monuments to your own effort. You were made to reflect me. You were designed to abide, to move with my spirit, to create what I speak, to live as a vessel of divine presence. So now I strip away everything false. I remove the structures you built in fear, the identities you formed in pain, the habits you clung to in survival, not to leave you empty, but to make room for what is true. I will show you the difference between self-protection and my protection. I will teach you to release what you've used to hide behind. You've built walls thinking they would keep out hurt, but they've also kept out healing, and so I gently tear them down. Yes, it feels vulnerable. Yes, it feels exposed. But child, I am here. I am not tearing down to abandon. I am removing what was fragile to build what is firm. I do not demolish without a plan. I am the master builder, and I see what's coming next. And what's coming is weighty. You asked me to use you. You asked me to reveal your calling. You asked me to fulfill my promises, and I will. But not before I build you to carry it. Because what I place on your life will require internal infrastructure. Not just passion, not just gifting, but integrity, endurance, humility, wisdom. I'm not just building you to start well. I'm building you to last. This is sacred construction. This is holy ground. And like any building site, it will feel messy for a while. There will be days when you're unsure of what I'm doing. Days when you'll wonder if anything is really changing. Days when it seems like you're moving backward, not forward. But I promise you, I'm working underneath the surface. Just because it's hidden doesn't mean it's insignificant. Just because it's slow doesn't mean it's delayed. I'm building deep. I am anchoring truth in the places where lies once lived. I am recoding your thought patterns, retraining your heart to trust, rewiring your responses so that when pressure comes, what flows from you is not panic, but peace. This is not the work of a moment. This is the work of formation. And formation happens in the quiet, in the unseen, in the sacred spaces of repetition and faithfulness. It's in the early mornings where you meet me with trembling expectation. It's in the mundane obedience of doing what I've asked, even when no one else sees. It's in the small yes, the unseen kindness, the whispered prayer, the intentional pause to listen. This, my child, is how we build. Not in performance, but in presence. Not in hurry, but in holy rhythm. I will teach you to move in sync with me. Not ahead, not behind, but with me. And when I say build, I will also give you the blueprint. I'm not asking you to guess. I'm not asking you to figure it all out. I am the architect. I know where every beam belongs. I know what needs to be reinforced. I know how to carry the weight, so stay close and I will reveal it step by step. This rebuild is not just about your personal healing. It is about your public purpose. You will be a shelter to others. You will be a home for the weary. You will be a well in the wilderness, and because of that, your foundation must be strong. Not just emotionally, but spiritually. You cannot minister from what you have not yet received. And so I am filling every space in you first, so that what overflows from your life is living water, not residue from your past. You've been called, but now you are being equipped. You've been chosen, but now you are being fortified. You've said yes, and now I am saying, let's build. But build with me, not without me. I am not just your savior. I am your strategist. I am not just your comforter. I am your constructor. Invite me into every room, every decision, every habit. Let me show you what to keep and what to release. Let me show you how to structure your days, how to steward your time, how to protect the sacred atmosphere around you, not for the sake of control, but for the sake of consecration. Your life is becoming a dwelling place, not just a visit, but a home for my spirit. So I must show you how to build accordingly. And yes, some people will not understand this season. Some will try to rush you. Some will misread your quietness as complacency. But you will know, and I will confirm it. This silence is not stagnation. It is strategy. You are being hidden on purpose. Not to keep you small, but to keep you safe while I finish the work. Do not confuse obscurity with failure. Some of my greatest works were formed in caves, in wildernesses, in hidden places. No one applauded. You are not missing your moment. You are being made ready for it. So trust me. When it feels slow, trust me. When it feels quiet, trust me. When you feel forgotten, trust me. And when it's time, you will know. I will make it clear. The doors will open. The winds will shift. The opportunities will align, not through striving, but through my spirit. And you will walk forward, not as someone unsure of who they are, but as someone firmly established. This is the rebuild, my beloved. It is sacred. It is holy. And it is just the beginning. My child, now that I've rebuilt the foundation, I'm inviting you into the place where strength is sustained. Not in outward striving, but in inward stillness. Not in performance, but in presence. Come to the secret place. Not the hidden place of fear or escape. Not the place you retreat to when you are overwhelmed, but the sacred place. The one I have reserved for just you and me. The place where noise cannot reach. The place where shame has no voice. The place where nothing is required except you. This is where your identity is not achieved but received. This is where your spirit exhales. This is where your real life begins. Not the life others see, but the life that shapes all that flows from you. You have longed for deeper intimacy. You've desired to hear me more clearly. You've asked for more peace, more clarity, more joy, and I have longed to give it. But these gifts are not found in the busyness of the day or the applause of the crowd. They are found in the stillness, in the quiet, in the secret. This is the well you draw from when the world runs dry. And here, I don't need your perfect words. I don't require lengthy prayers or polished phrases. I just want you, your gaze, your heart, your breath. Even your silence is a language I understand. Even your sigh is a song in my ears. This is not a religious duty. This is the very center of our relationship. Because from the secret place flows wisdom for the public place. From the secret place flows strength for the wilderness, strategy for the war, endurance for the journey. Everything you truly need you will find here with me. Here you will learn to recognize my voice not by volume, but by familiarity. You will learn that I don't shout over chaos. I whisper in peace. I don't compete with noise. I call you away from it. That is why I've been prompting you to unplug. That is why you felt the tug to pause, because I'm drawing you in. Not for a moment, but for a rhythm. I want to be the first voice you hear and the last voice you rest in. Not out of guilt, but because you were designed for communion. You were made to walk with me in the cool of the day. You were formed for the breath-to-breath intimacy of abiding. And so I invite you. Make room. Not just when it's convenient. Not only when you're desperate, but make me your dwelling. Let the secret place become your home. Set aside time. Clear the clutter. Protect the sacred. Let my presence become your oxygen, your first instinct, not your last resort. Do not underestimate the power of this place. It may not seem flashy. There may be no music, no crowd, no instant breakthrough. But what I build in the secret place cannot be stolen in public. This is where I form your roots deep enough to sustain the weight of your calling. This is where I teach you to live not from reaction, but from revelation. When you are with me consistently, you will begin to notice. Your anxiety quiets, your priorities shift, your discernment sharpens, your compassion increases, your strength multiplies. You will begin to move from a place of overflow, not depletion. You will begin to carry me, not just visit me. Because the secret place is not about hiding, it's about hosting. When you meet me here, you learn to host my presence everywhere, in your home, at your workplace, in your conversations, in your leadership. You don't need to shout to carry my glory. You don't need a stage to walk in my power. You don't need a title to release my presence. You just need communion, and that is what I am giving you. I'm giving you a seat at my table, daily. I'm handing you keys to the hidden room, permanently. I'm offering not just visitation, but habitation, and with habitation comes revelation. You will begin to understand my heart, not just my hand. You will begin to partner with my spirit, not just react to circumstances. You will begin to pray from my perspective, not just from pain. Because the more you sit with me, the more you become like me. Your thoughts align, your words carry weight, your motives are purified, your actions flow from union. That is the power of the secret place. It is not just where you come to get filled, it is where you come to become. You are not just a visitor here, you are a resident. So make space. Not just once a week, but every day. Even if it's 5 minutes of stillness, 5 breaths of surrender. I meet you where you are. I multiply what you give. You do not need to wait for the perfect setting. You don't need silence around you if there is silence within you. Even in the middle of the noise, you can carry the secret place inside your soul. A temple not made with hands. A dwelling that moves with you. A sacred space that no circumstance can touch. This is what I'm teaching you now. How to abide. How to live with me in every moment. Not just as a guest, but as a child at home. Because this is where your power lies. This is where your resilience is forged. This is where your identity is sealed. And from this place, everything changes. You will dream differently. You will lead differently. You will speak with clarity, not confusion. You will walk with steadiness, not fear. You will respond with grace, not panic, and the fruit of my spirit will grow. Not because you strive, but because you stay. Stay near. Stay soft. Stay rooted. The world will tempt you to rush, to react, to run ahead. But I will gently call you back to the rhythm of the secret place. And when you learn to live from this rhythm, nothing will shake you, because you will no longer be sustained by applause, by outcomes, or by adrenaline. You will be sustained by me. I am your source. I am your well. I am your home. So come back, again and again. Let my presence reset you. Let my peace restore you. Let my spirit recalibrate you. Let my voice remind you. You don't need to earn rest. You were created for it. You don't need to chase affirmation. You already have it. You don't need to impress me. You already delight me. In this secret place, you are fully known and fully loved. So come. Let me speak identity over you. Let me sing over your silence. Let me breathe on your tired soul. This is the secret place, and it is open, not for the perfect, not for the strong, but for the hungry. And you, my child, are welcome here. Always. My child, now that you have dwelled with me in the secret place, Now that your foundation has been rebuilt on truth, your wounds touched by healing, and your soul bathed in communion, you are ready. Not ready because you feel fully equipped. Not ready because all your questions are answered. Not ready because the path is completely clear. You are ready because you are surrendered. You are ready because you are rooted. You are ready because you trust me more than your fear. And now, I place my hand upon you not to keep you hidden but to release you. I am commissioning you, not into performance but into purpose, not into striving but into spirit-led movement, not into busyness but into assignment. What I have formed in the fire, I now release into the field. Because the oil that has been cultivated in private is not just for you. It is meant to anoint others, to break chains, to awaken hearts, to set captives free, to bring heaven to earth through your life, your voice, your presence. You are my ambassador. You are my vessel. You are my sent one. And where I send you, I go before you. Where I place you, I also sustain you. This is not about being used. I do not use children. I partner with them. I move through them. I extend myself into the world through hearts that say yes, and your yes has echoed in eternity. It is not a small thing when you say, "Here I am." That yes cost you something. You surrendered comfort. You laid down timelines. You let me strip away the layers you once hid behind. You trusted me when you didn't understand. And now I say this with the authority of heaven behind every word. You are being commissioned, not in secret this time, but with the seal of my spirit resting visibly upon your life. Don't wait until you feel qualified. Your qualification is my call. Your validation is my voice. I do not ask for perfection. I ask for obedience. And obedience is not measured by what you know. It is measured by what you yield. You have yielded, and so I will now release. You will begin to feel the tug toward new territory. You will sense a shift in rooms, in relationships, in responsibilities. Do not resist it. It is the unfolding of divine placement. I am positioning you, not for platform, but for impact. Not for applause, but for fruitfulness. You have asked me to move in your life, and now I will move through your life. Not in force, but in favor. Not in chaos, but in clarity. Not in status, but in spirit. This is the kind of commission that carries weight, because it is birthed from my presence. I did not give you influence to increase your name. I gave you influence to extend my kingdom. So do not shrink. Do not apologize for the grace I've given. Do not dim the light to make others comfortable. You are not being elevated to impress. You are being raised to release hope where there has been despair, to release truth where compromise has reigned, to release healing where wounds have festered in silence, to release love that is not shallow, but transformational. This is your commissioning. I am giving you keys of wisdom, keys of discernment, keys of authority that do not come from human titles, but from kingdom alignment. These keys will unlock atmospheres. These keys will open hearts. These keys will dismantle lies that have held people hostage for years. You will carry not just information, but impartation. Not just words, but weight. Not just charisma, but consecration. Do not underestimate what I've done in you. Do not belittle what we built together in the hidden seasons. Every moment you stayed when you wanted to run. Every tear you sowed in silence. Every act of obedience no one else understood. I saw it all, and I recorded it not as a ledger of works, but as a blueprint of readiness. You are not being sent randomly. You are being strategically placed. I am sending you where the oil is needed most. There are people waiting, not for your perfection, but for your presence that carries me, your words that echo my heart, your life that reveals what intimacy looks like. And I tell you, doors are opening, some quickly, some gradually. Some you have prayed for, some you never dared to imagine. They are not coming because you campaigned. They are opening because you waited well, because you let me do the deeper work. Now you carry depth. You carry something that cannot be imitated. You carry my fragrance, and yes, there will be opposition, there will be resistance, there will be moments where doubt knocks again, where fear whispers that you are unworthy. But remember what I told you in the quiet. Return to what I showed you in the secret place. Revisit the promises spoken in the wilderness, and remind your soul, you are not moving alone. I go before you. I walk beside you. I cover you behind. This commission is not an exit from my presence. It is an expansion of it. You will now begin to see what I meant when I said, you were born for this. Not born for spotlight, not born for status, born for impact, born to shine light into dark places, born to walk with authority that breaks strongholds, born to love so deeply that shame melts under your words, born to create, to build, to shape culture, to carry my glory into everyday spaces. This is your assignment, to walk among people with heaven in your eyes, to speak with the tenderness of one who has met me in the fire, to lead with the confidence of one who has heard my voice and not turned away. You are being commissioned, not only to represent me, but to reveal me. And the more you walk with me, the more you will notice. You don't even need to try to minister. You simply carry. You carry peace. You carry insight. You carry healing. You carry a voice that shakes atmospheres, not because it's loud, but because it's true. You carry oil that breaks yokes. You carry me. And as I send you out, remember this. You are never leaving my presence to fulfill your purpose. You are bringing my presence into your purpose. So go, my child. Go with fire in your bones and peace in your posture. Go with tenderness and with courage. Go knowing I am with you always. This is not the end of your becoming. It is the beginning of your beholding me in motion. And I am already moving. My child, now that you have been commissioned, sent not with striving, but with surrender, let me speak to the way in which you are called to live from this moment forward. You are no longer living in scarcity. You are no longer trying to pour from an empty vessel. You are no longer walking in survival mode, managing spiritual fatigue while pretending to be fine. You are now living from overflow, because I did not fill you to the brim so you could merely survive. I filled you so you could spill. What I have poured into your life is not meant to be capped, hoarded, or hidden. It is meant to flow through you. And the more you release, the more I will fill. The more you give, the more grace I will supply. The more you step forward in obedience, the more you will see that you lack nothing in me. This is the rhythm of the kingdom. Receive and release. Dwell and deliver. Be filled and be sent. Return to the secret place, and from that place, go again. You were never meant to live from one encounter to the next. You were meant to live in a continuous flow of my spirit. Let me say this clearly. You are not just a well visited occasionally by heaven. You are a river that carries it. You are not waiting for revival to fall upon you from outside. You are carrying it within. This is what overflow looks like. Peace that makes no sense to the world. Joy that dances even in the valley. Wisdom that comes not from intellect, but from intimacy. Compassion that costs something. Authority that doesn't shout, but carries weight. Your overflow isn't loud. It doesn't need to announce itself. It is undeniable, because everywhere you go, people will feel it. Something different, something holy, something they can't explain but long to touch. That is me in you. This is how the kingdom spreads, not just through messages, but through presence. Your presence, because you've been with me. You've been reshaped, realigned, restored, and now you're a vessel, a sanctuary, a living altar. And so I say, live from overflow. When you walk into a room, you don't need to figure out what to do. Just bring me in with you. Let my spirit guide the conversation. Let my wisdom govern your words. Let my love saturate your posture. You don't need all the answers. You just need awareness. Awareness of me, alive within you. I will show you what to say and when to stay silent. I will whisper when it's time to speak and when it's time to simply be. You are not responsible for outcomes, only obedience. And obedience will always lead to overflow, because I never command without empowering. I never lead without supplying. I never send without sustaining. So do not fear depletion. Do not fear being too much or too little. You don't live from your own strength anymore. You live from my endless well. You don't carry people. You carry me, and I touch people through you. This is what the world needs. Not a louder voice, but a deeper well. Not more performance, but more presence. Not perfect theology, but living testimony. Your story has become an altar where others will encounter me. Your scars have become maps for those lost in their own pain. Your surrender has become the soil where others will plant their own seeds of trust. This is the beauty of overflow. It doesn't glorify you, it glorifies me. It turns attention not to your strength but to my mercy. So live open, live generous. Live accessible. Don't close your heart to protect what I've done. Open your life and watch me multiply it. And when you feel the tug to shrink back, to hide, to play small, remember, I didn't raise you from the ashes to return to the dust. I didn't rebuild you just to keep you in the corner. I didn't anoint you just to keep you quiet. You are a lamp, and I place lamps on stands. You are a city, and cities are not built to be hidden. You are a flame, and flames do not apologize for their glow. Your overflow is not arrogance. Your fruit is not pride. You are not drawing attention to yourself. You are drawing attention to me. So shine. Shine with the light that's been rekindled in you. Shine with the confidence of a soul who has been in the fire and not been consumed. Shine with the grace of one who has been forgiven much, because as you overflow, lives will change. And not just because of what you say, but because of what you carry. You will walk into places where hope has died, and it will resurrect. You will speak to people whose dreams have grown cold, and they will stir again. You will worship and the atmosphere will shift. You will pray and chains will break. You will simply show up, and my spirit will begin to move, not because of your greatness, but because of your availability. That is what I use, a surrendered vessel. Not a perfect one, not a famous one, a surrendered one, and you, my child, are surrendered. So I say this with joy: overflow, pour out, flow freely. Do not ration the oil, do not measure the grace. Give as you've received, and trust that I am always enough. The more you give, the more I will supply. The more you stretch, the more I will sustain. And when the world watches you and asks, "How do you live this way?" you will smile and say, "I don't live from my own strength. I live from the overflow of God's presence." And they will hunger, they will ask, they will follow the scent of my fragrance on your life, and they will find me. This is how I move. This is how I multiply. This is how I reveal myself, not just through power, but through people like you. So flow, my child. Don't hold back. Don't second guess. Don't wait until it feels perfect. The river is already flowing. The well is already full. And you, my beloved, are the overflow. My child, you have stayed the course. You have walked through the furnace, sat in the stillness, and embraced the sacred rebuild. You have dwelled in my presence, received the commissioning, and lived from overflow. Now I tell you, with all of heaven leaning in, the time of manifestation is here. What you've carried in faith, what you've stewarded in private, what you've whispered in the middle of the night is now becoming visible, not for pride, not for proof, but for purpose. I am revealing in your life what I have long established in your spirit, and it will not be a slow trickle. It will be an outpouring. Do not look for the subtle signs alone. Prepare for the sudden shift. I am moving quickly now, not because I move in haste, but because you are finally in rhythm with my timing. Your roots are deep. Your posture is steady. Your vision is clear. So now I bring forth the fruit. This is not the beginning of my faithfulness. It is the revealing of it. I have always been working. I have always been watching. Even when you saw nothing. Even when the ground looked barren. Even when the silence felt deafening. I was shaping a harvest so great that you could not imagine it then. But now, the time has come. Doors are swinging open that no man can shut. Relationships are aligning that no strategy could orchestrate. Resources are arriving that no hustle could secure. Favor is resting on your life, not as a reward for performance, but as the evidence of obedience. Because you trusted me with your wilderness, I am now trusting you with impact, and I tell you the world will see. Not for applause, but for awakening. Not to elevate your name, but to glorify mine. Because every manifestation in your life will carry my signature. Only God could have done this. Only God could have turned ashes into beauty. Only God could have taken a life shattered by disappointment and turned it into a beacon of hope. Only God could have spoken such wisdom from lips that once stammered with fear. Only God could have opened such doors, redeemed such time, and healed such depth. Your life is becoming testimony. And that testimony is not only a message, it is a mirror for others. When they look at you, they will see what is possible with me. They will see that I still speak, that I still heal, that I still redeem, restore, and resurrect. Because what they see manifesting on the outside is simply the overflow of the deep work I've done on the inside. So do not shrink now. Do not question your worth. Do not ask, why me? The answer is simple. Because you said yes. You gave me your yes in the fire. You gave me your yes in the silence. You gave me your yes when it felt like nothing was happening. And now I am giving you harvest in every area where you sowed in faith. And this harvest is multidimensional. It's not just provision, it's peace. It's clarity. It's favor with the right people. It's strength to walk boldly. It's authority to speak without fear. It's time redeemed. It's generational cycles broken. It's gifts unlocked that you didn't know you carried. It's dreams awakened that you thought were too late. It's vision restored. It's joy returned. Yes, joy, not the fleeting kind, but the deep river that runs underneath every circumstance. That joy will mark this season. Not as a shallow emotion, but as a supernatural strength. Because you are not just watching me move, you are moving with me. You are partnering with my spirit. And this alignment is what changes everything. You are no longer striving for blessing. You are now walking in rhythm with it. You are no longer trying to open doors. You are now walking through the ones I've opened. You are no longer asking if the promise is real. You are now living inside the unfolding of it. So lift your eyes. No more waiting at the window, wondering when your time will come. This is not someday. This is not eventually. This is now. Now you will see what I meant when I said, I will do more than you can ask or imagine. Now you will watch as what once felt buried bursts into full bloom. Now you will speak with the voice of one who knows me. Not just by stories, but by encounter. You will no longer just believe in breakthrough. You will carry the evidence of it. And I say this again. Do not apologize for the blessing. Wear it like a mantle of honor. Carry it with humility. Let it become an invitation for others to come and see. Because this blessing is not about status, it is about strategy. I have placed it on your life for the sake of others. To reveal, to reflect, to reignite. So pour out freely. Share your story. Speak the truth that once terrified you. Lift up the broken. Anoint the weary. Stand in rooms you once felt unworthy to enter. Build what you once only dreamed of, and remain with me as you move. Because this manifestation is not an ending, it is an entrance. You are not stepping into a conclusion. You are stepping into fulfillment. And fulfillment is not a place where you retire. It is a place where you reignite. I have called you to be a fire that never goes out, a flame that fuels others, a well that never runs dry. Because the manifestation is not the final goal, it is the beginning of legacy. So write the books, lead the teams, raise the children, build the ministries, start the movements, create with courage, speak with boldness, and love with my power. Because what is manifesting through you is proof that nothing is wasted, that pain is not the final word, that surrender is never in vain, and that I, the Lord your God, finish what I start. So let the testimony resound. Let the overflow become a wave. Let the world see what I do with a life fully surrendered, because you are living proof. The story they thought ended in silence is now shouting redemption. The chapter they thought closed in despair is now echoing with joy. The ashes they buried are now blooming with glory. You are the manifestation of promise, of prophecy, of purpose fulfilled, and it's only the beginning. So go, my child. Walk in the light. Live in the harvest. Shine with my glory. And never forget, you didn't make this happen. I did. You didn't force it. You flowed with me. And now, we rise together. For the glory of my name, the good of many, and the joy of your soul. Let it be known the manifestation is here. Amen.